Hello everyone, this is Flammy and welcome back to the high level attack video. So today we have got a good chunk of change. We got over 1 million for both elixir and gold. And what are we going to be doing? Well, so we got 3 workers and all are finishing up relatively soon. We got 6 hours, just over 13 hours, and just over 1 day, 13 hours. So with all that, we should probably go and get our current worker busy working on something if we can get enough resources to do so. So what are our options? Well, we've got this air defense right here, which we're pretty close to doing. So there's this one for only 40,000 more. However, if we do get maybe 2 good raids off, well, I guess that'd be really good raids. Maybe we could do an archer tower for 1.5 million, or a cannon, such as this one, for 1.6 million. Or I could decide that I want to do one of those anyways and just save up a little longer. Beyond that, we do have 1.5 million for Teslas, but I think I would do the cannon first every single time. Anyways, we got those guys finishing up, so let's go start searching. Yeah, I'm going to break my shield here. That air defense is going to be one of the slowest things to do. It's probably not actually the most helpful because it's not actually used that often, but when you are attacked by air, having it up beyond level 3 or 4 is going to be really helpful. You generally don't want to upgrade both of them at the same time, though, so it's good to start it now, only once the other one's getting close to finishing up. That's sort of pretty good resources right there. Fairly well upgraded defenses. Mortars and wizards could be higher, but the cannons and the archer towers are pretty good. Do I want to take them on? Let's try to get a little bit more than 91,000. I'm not sure it'll be possible. I might come to regret this decision, but I'm going to skip them for now. And then we go down to 73,000. That's alright. Just need to get a little lucky on this, but that's fine. Haven't been playing much on this account lately. Haven't been playing much on either account lately. Just been busy with school. And a bit lazy. I sort of just felt like doing some other stuff. Ooh, there's a good one. Maybe I'll talk about that other stuff later. Let's see, so where are the resources likely to be? It seemed fairly likely that a good chunk of the resources are going to be in the mines and collectors. So to test that theory, I'm going to attack down here on the bottom where there's this exposed gold mine. Actually, 2 of them, potentially. And we're going to watch on the top left. So we're at 149,671. And with 1 arrow, that goes from about 600 resources. So that's a good amount. I don't think that means that all of the resources are going to be in the mines. It could be, but a very good chunk of them will be. So we're going to mainly be going for gold, like I sort of mentioned before. So yeah, we're going to do that. Should I use giants? Yeah, I'm going to use a couple of giants for distraction, especially on this top side here. But over here, we're going to use barbarians. So first I put down the barbarians to soak up damage, then I put down archers and then goblins, and we got those all pretty easily. I'm going to do 2 guys out here, and we'll spread out some guys to help out. Mainly, I only put down 2 goblins. We really don't need to have that many. Just because only a few will get the job done pretty effectively. Drop a few more. But only like 3 more, and I'll get all 3. I decided I'd go for the elixir. Are we missing a gold mine still? Gold mine? Ah, yes, down here. Perfect. So we can go for this. I only dropped 2 archers down here, so I didn't really expect it to be collected. Maybe I can pick it up with an archer. Ooh, barely in range of that. Oh, damn. Mortars and wizards, but you know what? We're going to get it. Okay, so there's that. So, like I predicted, 3,000 resources in the storages, which is nothing at all. So, I'm glad I didn't attack more heavily, because that would have been a waste of my troops. We'll end the battle and see how good I did with just some infantry. And, let's see, about 50 infantry and 2 giants was able to get us 149,000 gold and just under 60,000 elixir. So, I'm pretty happy with those results right there. Let's take that and head on back and see how we stand. So I did mention that I haven't been playing a ton lately, and I got sort of distracted, which I'm fine with because I enjoyed getting distracted, doing something else, and that was reading. So I really enjoy reading, but I started reading the series, which I'd read before. Hadn't read these books towards the end of the series before, so I think I read about 4 books in the last 2 days. Well, not 2 days, I guess it's more spread out over the last 5 days, but it was fun. And but that meant I was not playing very much, and likewise my videos sort of fell off because I wasn't really doing them, so I'm sorry about that. But I just combination between busy and having fun doing other things, yeah. Sorry. I would like to say it won't happen again, but it probably will. How many barbarians do I need? I didn't see exactly. Let me cancel out these. Actually, we don't need. We have we'll have 2 healers for this next attack. You'll notice, and we're down 2 giants. So we're going to be light on the archers and barbarians. Let's just max out the barbarians. Oh damn, already maxed. That's lame. You know what? I'm gonna go light on the goblins. Goblins are pretty specialty, and I don't use them all often. So I'd rather just take my more normal amount of barbarians and archers by comparison. And close enough, if you ask me. Okay, so we do have a recent attack here, and we're gonna watch this in a second. But lately, we have not had any real attacks. If you look down here, like I guess sort of this one where they had 29 archers, but you know what? Look at the resources; they got nothing. All these attacks, someone tried to lightning my storages. All of them have proved fairly ineffective. So I talked about this in the past, but you know what? Still is true. But you know what? In this top one, they actually did. So they managed to get one of my gold storages in this, I believe. I didn't watch the replay, but just when you log on, you can see the damage they did. So let's load this up after we talk about their army for a second. So the definite focus of this is going to be the goblins. The wall breakers are going to be interesting. They have a lot of them. They're level 5, and it's sort of hard to use them against my base. It's possible, but sort of hard. So I'm curious if they're going to use them in any sort of effective way. I would guess not, but we'll find out. The archers and barbarians and giants are all going to be mainly there for distraction. I'm sure they're going to help pick off resources and stuff as well, but we'll see how it goes. Here's the base, and starting at the bottom with the town hall. So you might notice I have some interesting decorations near the army camps on the bottom. I'm trying out something new, and if it turns out to be true and effective, I will mention what that is in a minute. But until then, so we're just picking up the town hall, blah blah blah. Let's speed up. 2 archers. So clearly during this time they were thinking like, oh, maybe I can attack more heavily. Okay, so wall breakers coming in there. Clan castle guys as well. Not all my clan castle guys actually. Try to drop some barbarians, but clearly that wasn't too effective. They're trying to draw my guys out so they can deploy more heavily. That was a good one to deploy. And then they'll be able to either lightning or put down a ton of infantry right around just to kill it. Yeah, good job. But notice they're burning time like this. So I think they actually do run out of time. A couple more archers coming out. And I did have a good amount of archers, so they're really distracting and killing a lot of guys. They probably should have deployed this extra guys earlier. Last couple archers. They still haven't even killed my town hall. Anything happening anywhere else? Nope. Got the Barbarian King up. I think it's level 3 in this case. Yes, it is. Okay, so wall breakers. So it looks like they actually are using them fairly effectively, except for the fact they keep dying. They took out one buttress wall right here, but they're correct to aim for right that wall that they're going for. To aim down at any other place would be not good. Fortunately for them, those wall breakers sort of split up right there. Looks like they made it through the hole this time. There they go. So they busted into the center there. So this is going to get interesting fast. Giants, they don't have a ton of support right now, so I'd like to see more guys going down with the Giants while they're taking fire. I don't know why he's dropping. Oh, he's trying to get into the center. That's interesting. I wonder if he's going to be able to be successful in that. Nope, he didn't. So, actually, you might want to rewatch that last 10 seconds because it's pretty interesting where that guy was targeting. He was targeting this wall back here instead of this close one in here. Okay, now comes the funness of the goblins coming in. Coming for the storages. We do have wizards here. We do have mortars. The wizards are really what's going to save the day, I expect. And the mortars, I guess. Because splash damage is the only thing that's going to really save you against this stuff like this. He's trying to send these other goblins into the center, but they're going for the storages around the outside. So, he looked like he's trying to pick off the mine before he deploys more, so I expect him to deploy a lot more right now. He's trying to get them to go for the storages in the center because he knows that's where the resources are. So he's correctly realizing that. He's not going to be super successful, I expect, though, just because that drill on the right side is really distracting him. Yep, so he keeps dropping single one down here and is still going for the drill. It's really funny, like, ooh, ouch. So I guess that was the end of his goblins right there. Clever strategy. Like, so he clearly knows how to use units, but he couldn't do it effectively. So if you were not aware, let me explain. I'll draw on the background here what he was trying to do. So when he deploys his guys down in this area down here, what's he trying to do? He wants them to go for the storages in here. Once he took out this one, though, there aren't any others. So, what I mean is there aren't any other close ones. Next closest is here, because he hasn't destroyed this wall. So, in order to get your goblins to attack this, though, this would have to be the closest resource to the deployment area, which is, once again, down here where the hole in the wall is. So, they kept getting distracted over here on the right, and what he should have done was he shouldn't have taken out the stuff on. He should have attacked much more heavily before he took out the stuff on the right. So remember, after he busted through the walls and this storage was still alive, at that exact point in time, he should have deployed lots and lots of guys, and all the golems would then go into the center. However, my mortars and wizards were up, so you'd want to space them out a little bit. So you'd deploy in little bursts, and then as soon as the storage right before the storage went down, you'd want to deploy every single one of them. What would that mean is they all run through the walls, storage then suddenly dies. They're not all grouped up though, so they don't all die from the wizards and mortars, and then they start going for the other storage. As it was, he was able to pick off one storage, so I guess it wasn't a complete failure, but showing that he was able to take, that's probably 100,000 from my one storage as it was. Means he could have gotten another 100,000 if he had managed to take on the other one. Another good thing would have been to attack while the giants were still alive, because that would have distracted several of these mortars, as well as this wizard tower, which means you'd only have to worry about this wizard tower, which has very, very limited range on goblins attacking this storage. That was definitely interesting right there. That was a clever way to attack, but didn't work out completely in the end. Alright though, so let's queue up an army and see how much more resources we can get. So we definitely have enough now to get the air defense that I mentioned, if I so choose. But we're within reach of getting a cannon upgrade to level 10. It's still a long reach, but is a reach. We're about 300,000 away of a cannon, or 200,000 from an archer tower. No, 300,000 from an archer tower, so even more for a cannon. So that's getting pretty close to the archer tower. So I might decide to hold off on that. We'll see. But in the meantime, we're going to go on the offensive. Once again, so we have our army trained up. I'm not sure exactly what it looks like. It's going to be a little off from my normal sort of target composition because I've got 2 healers. We're a bit light on the goblins. We're a bit light on the giants. We're a bit light on the barbarians and a bit light on the archers. Basically, all the infantry is a little light. And then in exchange, we have 2 healers, which actually can prove effective in some cases. It's just not my normal army. So what are we going for? So I turned down a 90,000 base and found a 150,000 one pretty easily. So let's try to stick to that. Try to go above 90,000, so probably above 100,000 if we can find it. However, that base we did find, I'm not saying it's lucky, but it was accurate. It was an accurate read in us on my part, realizing the resources that were in the collectors and mines rather than in the center. So, not necessarily going to be able to take on every base like that. 70,000. Let's talk about some of these bases. Interesting design here with the centralized things. They only have their dark elixir storage in the center, and from the animation of it, it looks very empty. So, I'd probably not support the decision. It'd be a lot more effective if your clan castle was in the center, for example, for pure defense. I do like how they actually spread out their storages right here. I like that design. What it means is someone attacking from one side might take out 1 or 2 storages, but they're not likely to take out more than that because they're very spread out, unless you get 3-starred, in which case your stuff's going to die anyways. In exchange, you do have a stronger defense, which means it's less likely for you to get 3-starred. This one here, let's talk about this guy for a second. He's very clearly newly Town Hall 8. You can tell this from all the new walls he has that are level 2 walls, the rough stone ones. Be Beyond that, he doesn't look like he's particularly active. He's got a lot of tombstones from units around, showing that he's been attacked somewhat recently. And perhaps, and also the collectors show that they've got some resources in them. So maybe he plays once a day or something, or has taken at least a day since he's last played. Another newly Town Hall 8. Looks like they just threw the walls around there. It's actually not a bad decision when you just get to a new level. All these walls in between the storages I don't really approve of. That's a huge chunk of area right in here, which you have no combat buildings. And that's just the storages combined with the walls make it so it would be a lot more effective if those were both spread out and you had some units mixed in there. Otherwise, your units are all pushed around the outside, which means they can't support one another. A 90,000 gold base. Like I said, trying to get 100,000 or more. We'll see though. Interesting. So these bases are always exciting, and I actually do enjoy taking them on when possible. But not going to happen today. Almost certainly a Tesla in that one spot. However, they might have moved out a defense like this air defense to upgrade it. But we're not going to be attacking this anyway because they don't have enough gold. The elixir count is nice, but the thing is I don't really have any elixir projects. I do have some researches I could be doing, but they're not super critical. Okay, here's a ton of resources. Can we take this guy on? Hard question. So defenses actually aren't that amazing. Walls are fairly good. They are like basically a high Town Hall 8 in terms of defensive levels. Their air defenses are very poorly placed. They're spread all the way around the outside. So I'm definitely going to take this guy on and try to get him at least. We'll see how successful that is, though. How do I want to attack? I want to get into the storages. Does it really matter? It seems like the right side's fairly weak by comparison. I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to deploy giants down here. They're going to attack the air defense, and then they're going to attack the cannon, or the archer tower, and then hopefully they'll come for the wizard. I want them to stick together. I'm going to double healer this because, well, I've got the healers. Damn, that sort of sucks. Some of these guys are going to split up. That's sort of lame, too. You know what? Well, we're going in for it. It's enough resources that it's alright. That I'm just going to deploy more heavily. I'm going to go full out. I'm going to do clan castle. I'm going to do everything. The only thing I'm going to save is... I didn't even check for damn clan castle guys. Drop one lightning on them to kill all of them. It's worth it. Especially if I can break into the center in this case. Nope, this is going to be a totally failure attack. So the problem here was... can I salvage any of it before I start talking? No, I can't. So I can't break into the center. So what was my problem? Actually, we are going to do one thing. We're going to go for Dark Elixir. So the good thing about this is all the storages are nice and grouped up, which means I can drop these lightnings on them. So we're going to get a solid amount of Dark Elixir and resources. The Dark Elixir certainly makes it worth it. My attack, though, certainly was not worth it. So what was my problem, really? My problem was basically that my giants split up and went different directions. And then I deployed my infantry on the left when I really should have deployed it on the right. Deploying on the right would have helped out with the healers. It would have joined in with the healers, which would have been a lot more effective. As is, though... It wasn't terrible, especially in terms of the Dark Elixir that we managed to steal. So, we obviously lost a lot of Elixir on training the guys, and some on the spells, but the Dark Elixir is probably, I'd say, worth it. Generally, I wouldn't do that just for the Dark Elixir. Why? Just because the Dark Elixir, I only would do that when I'm actually closer to actually starting an upgrade. So I'm not close to 17,500, so generally I wouldn't go for Dark Elixir in general. So, before I queue up spells, do we actually want to start anything? So I think I'm actually going to start this air defense. Why is that? Well, we're going to have 3 workers finishing up in the next 2 days, and it's fine to go start a long construction because I'll have so many few workers, so I don't mind starting a cheaper construction. So, bam, off that goes. Which means with 116,000 left, we can queue up spells. I'm going to go with the 3 lightning once again. It does let me strike towards storages once again, but I generally don't do that, unless it's a sort of situation like that last one. In terms of that attack, do I have anything more to say about it? Basically, you screw up sometimes. Sometimes it's the units. I realized that the Giants were going to go for the both sides pretty fast as soon as the guys, as soon as they went for the Archer Tower. Can't really do anything about it at that point to redirect them. I wish they hadn't done that, that's all I'm going to say, but they did. So, life goes on. Beyond that, let's see. The last thing I'm going to talk about is this. So, there are these two decorations here. So, you might have noticed this and be wondering, what the hell's up with this, Flammy? Because this is a new change. I do have some flags on the left side which are doing the exact same thing. What their goal is to do is to possibly funnel guys, because guys won't walk right on top of the flowers, they'll sort of walk between them here. So the goal is to sort of group up infantry that's attacking like that, especially if they're attacking a building like this or this, then they'll be grouped up right here, and then things like mortars can hit them when they're all grouped up. So that's the goal of that. I haven't really had many attacks to try it on, basically only one attack, that last one, and it wasn't really relevant because they busted through the walls right here. So we're going to keep an eye on that, see if that happens in the near future, and we can take advantage of that. But for now, that's going to wrap up this attack video. One successful, one less successful. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. To finish this off, we're going to view this guy's base who attacked us more heavily. Ooh, interesting. That's a lot of gold, actually. That's a ton of gold. So this guy has got 4 million gold in his storages. That's pretty impressive. He's also got some pretty damn well upgraded defenses, if I say so myself. So these crossbows are both level 2. The wizard towers are level 7, which is really impressive. The mortars are still level 6. But overall, this is a well upgraded Town Hall 9 base. So, let me know in the comment section how you'd attack this guy's base, if you would at all. This actually would be a pretty good option for a lightning spell. Also, perhaps if you could break into the center with a bunch of goblins, perhaps that could be effective as well. So, you know what? Let me know how you would attack. Beyond that, guys, if you're not subscribed, why not subscribe? I try to put out Clash of Clans videos every single day. Beyond that, if you already are subscribed, thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate your ongoing support, and you can show that by liking and commenting below. And I do apologize for not always uploading every day, just when stuff happens and I get lazy or busy, or both, which is the worst. Alright guys, that's going to wrap it up. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.